Welcome, everyone. We have Melissa with us. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Melissa has an amazing story, so we'll just get started. So, Melissa and I have known each other since April or May of 2021. And some of you may have seen her story. If you go to her story is recorded on my YouTube channel, but when we first recorded her story, I think it was 14 pounds down in 10 weeks.
Mhm.
So you have made an incredible, you've had an incredible journey even since then. So I wanted to bring Melissa back on just to show you guys what is possible when you just give your yes to your health journey. And Melissa's not done. So she's just rolling and rolling. So why don't you start? Just tell us a little bit about you, Melissa, what life is like, and then we can kind of dive into your journey a little bit more.
Okay. So I'm a mom of three sons. I'm a working mom. I've been married to my husband for almost 19 years. I had to add that up for a second. And life is, of course, a little bit hectic as a mom. When I first started with the program, I was in a different job, and that job required a lot of travel. I was out of town, sometimes even to as far away as I live in Oregon, so as far away as Alaska, um, Las Vegas, Southern California. Mostly traveling all around Oregon, so lots of freeway, windshield time. Um, and so pretty hectic. Lots of stuff going on with kids and their sports, and just life. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where it
Yeah.
was when I started.
So the moral of that story is Melissa's incredibly busy and she's got a lot going on. And even in the midst of that, she found a way to make her health a priority. So tell us kind of where you were in your journey, what, the struggles you had before you really committed back in April, May, towards your weight loss journey.
Sure. So I'm one of those people who I feel like has had tried everything. I had started kind of gaining weight as like my late teen years, and it just kept coming on, and then having kids and traveling and really kind of having a kind of a hectic lifestyle. Just the pounds just kept piling on, and I did make lots of efforts, and I felt like some pretty significant efforts to lose weight, with diet restrictions and lots of working out. And I saw very few, if any, results, and it was really discouraging. I honestly felt like maybe I was just going to have this problem forever, which was a little bit scary considering it's kind of a generational problem. And I have seen, especially women in my family, struggle with weight, and it really impact their later years and cause premature death. And I just felt kind of hopeless. And honestly, like talking to Kelsey the first time was the first time I actually believed that there was actually like some sort of hope for me, because I remember she said something like, you really can do this. You can live a life like without this problem. And so I will admit, like, investing in it was not necessarily an easy thing for me. I sold a couple of stocks that I had to make that initial investment, and I'm so glad I did, because um, you know, Kelsey's approach is not the same as any other approach I'd ever tried. Um, and it was like, I felt like there was light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. So you started out really hopeless and now you've proven that you can totally do it. And so tell us a little bit more. Um, the title of this talk kind of gives it away, but how many pounds down and how long? Kind of walk us through your progress.
So starting in end of April, May last year, I have lost, I think it's 58 pounds, if I did the math right. Um, and I even like, I don't know, outside of the weight loss, I've had some pretty significant changes just in myself. Because of course with weight loss, there are great things, like, fitting into your clothes better and, feeling like you're going to move better and just kind of feeling more fit. But there are other things that have happened that I've been able to kind of be more confident about. Um, I I got a chance to coach cheerleading, which I had I loved it when I was in high school, and I coached after high school, and cheer's always been, kind of fun. But I just kind of asked, do you need a coach? And I think I wouldn't have done that had I not had the confidence that I've built over the last, at that point, it had been about 4 or 5 months. Um, because I always, in the back of my mind, thought like, nobody wants a fat cheerleading coach. So, and I didn't even think that. I just like, they need a coach and I can do this. And it was tremendously rewarding, being with the girls. And I don't have daughters, and so it's kind of fun to help kind of learn about them a little bit and get involved in that program. So
Yeah.
um, yeah.
It's been cool for me as your coach to see. I mean, you can just tell in your demeanor like that confidence arising. So it's really awesome. Um, so tell us a little bit about, I mean, just the practical side. What's been different this time with your weight loss journey? Like, what have you been doing, and how have you gotten the weight off in these past several months?
So I guess that's where this program that you developed is so much different than anything else. And starting not with just let's figure out what foods to cut out, or let's figure out how much time you need on the treadmill. Um, Approaching it as, a long-term kind of series of, like, I don't know if battles is the right word, but little bite-sized pieces, rather than, trying to just drop weight. Because I think that the problem with most weight loss is that they try to they don't get to the root of the problem. The problem isn't that you don't move enough, and it's not that you eat too much. It's like a more systemic problem. If and maybe even problem's not the right word, but it's just a way of life. Living healthy is a way of life, and we've trained ourselves to think that we need to be dieting and we need to be at the gym for hours on end. And that's not true. And it's certainly, I don't think, the way to start. Um, so kind of like a soft start, I guess, is what this does for you. Um, and teaching you in those bite-sized pieces to make significant change. So starting from myself in April, where like one day Kelsey's like, hey, you should get a Fitbit. So I'm like, okay, I'll go get a Fitbit. And starting from a place where I was probably moving maybe 4,000 steps a day, very sedentary job, like I said, driving a lot and stuff like that, to being just more aware of the amount I was sitting. Not a big change, but I think adding all of that up and moving, not quickly, not trying to like, today I walk 5,000 steps and tomorrow I'm going to walk 10,000 steps. But over the course of the last 9 months, really getting to a point where I consistently am moving 10,000 steps a day, but not right off the bat. And so making it into a process that is really kind of systemic, and it builds, one little tiny habit builds on the next tiny habit, and all of it has a cumulative effect. So those, little tiny goals with just adding up, let's get 6,000 steps. Don't try to be like a workout master. You're not. You need to lose 150 pounds. So this is not, you're not going to lose it next week. And that shouldn't ever be our goal, but it feels like that's what we try to make people.
Mhm.
So So those little tiny bite-sized steps, learning how to manage life more than just managing your weight is kind of what I have found. Things like using a planner. Who would think that using a planner had something to do with losing weight? But it does. And so, like I said, it approaching weight loss as, or weight as, not a problem in and of itself, but a symptom, then creates room to, have like mind space to just build tiny habits.
Yeah. And you didn't even mention the part where when you started, you were injured. So Melissa started by not exercising at all for the first several months.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think the thing about you, Melissa, that has made you so successful in the midst of this is, number one, you've trusted the process and you've just been willing to do one step at a time and not quit. So even when you felt frustrated, and even when I mean, really, you didn't feel that frustrated because you trusted the process. And I mean, sometimes when you look at people's weight loss, it'll kind of go like this, but Melissa's been really pretty consistent, this whole time. So
Well, and I think the other thing is, like, in the couple of little plateaus that I have hit, because like December, January, not a lot of movement on the scale for me. I had like these non-scale victories that helped. Um, and knowing that I had gone through a little plateau before and I just stayed consistent, then eventually, you hop off that plateau. But I think, like, if we let that discourage us and we don't try to look for other ways that we're seeing victories, then I think like Satan can battle you that way and, point out, well, you're failing, so why do you even try?
mhm.
And you can fight that, knowing that you can be victorious over this.
Yeah. Do you mind sharing any of your non-scale victories?
So I mean, like, the big ones are, of course, just like looking in the mirror and you look better, right? Um, I have, and I think moms probably can understand this, like weak core, 3 C-sections, uh, lots of kind of physical problems when I was pregnant. And so um, I literally like could not just sit up, do a sit up. I could do crunches like you wouldn't believe, but I could never just sit up. And actually, this was just like last week or the week before. I literally just sat up in bed and I actually was like, did I just do that? And so I laid back down and tried it again. I was like, oh my gosh, I did. I just like sat
Like, am
up.
I dreaming, right?
Yes, yes. It seems so simple, and kind of maybe to people who aren't moms and haven't ever dealt with that, maybe don't get that, how big that felt. But I even like was like to my husband, I'm like, I sat up in bed today. He was like, you did? So I was like, it was seems kind of silly, but it was really big for me because I felt so weak, and I haven't done any crazy ab workouts. I've just moved my body, and I have tried those crazy ab workouts before, didn't see that success. So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what would you say to the mom who is completely overwhelmed? Like, maybe she feels how you did when you first, before you even started, like, there's no way I'm going to lose this weight. I have too much to lose. What would you say to the mom who feels overwhelmed?
Um, I would say that, first of all, you're not alone. And that's one of the wonderful things that Fit Moms does, is provides a wonderful community of girls who love Jesus. And we are each other's cheerleaders every day. Um, so you're not alone. Um, and it's possible. I think that's certainly what I needed to hear, that it's possible. It's not going to happen tomorrow, and that's okay. Um, and if you can teach yourself um, to really manage your thought processes and your attitudes about yourself and about your weight, um, and also recognize that weight is something, I think, that God cares about, because our bodies are temples, and they're a gift to us for a short period of time. So you can honor God in this, and it's not going to. There is not a quick fix. it's not a quick fix. If you have a significant amount of weight to lose, it's going to take you a lot of time. Sorry, toddler screaming in the background.
That's a beautiful part of Fit Moms too, right?
That's right. Yeah,
Picking her
yeah.
up.
He's excited about something. That's good. Um,
Awesome.
so, so like I said, it's not going to happen overnight, and that's a good thing because quick fixes usually don't last long, and to lose weight, you need long-term, sustainable, realistic goals, and that's what Kelsey has developed in the Fit Moms program.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. It's possible. It's really simple, right?
Yeah.
Seemingly, but truly it is possible. So,
Mhm.
um, okay. So tell us a little bit more about your walk with God in the midst of this, because you kind of alluded to it that maybe it's a good thing that this doesn't happen quickly, because maybe some heart things can happen. But has anything changed for you in your faith or your walk as you've gone through this process?
Um, yes. I, especially in the last few months, have really been able to carve out time. I think that's one of the ways this program is different is that we talk about time management, and we learn how to fit these important things in. Um, I think all of us still probably struggle with fitting those things in, and we talk about that together. But I have become, kind of more than any other time in my life, more committed to studying the Bible. I've always been a Bible reader. Um, so I've committed to studying it. I recently started verse mapping, which if you haven't tried that, it's kind of fun. Um, and I don't know, I've just come to this realization that it's not just a physical problem. It's an out of balance problem. And I think I said something to somebody the other day on Facebook somewhere about how if weight is a symptom, um, and if we have anything out of balance, that means we need to bring that into alignment in order to honor God, because anything out of balance means that maybe there's an idol that we have, that we need to be more aware of, but we need balance. And I think that's been one of the things that I've been able to do is add that balance, add the focus of um, spending time with God and making it a daily priority. So that's been one of the things, like with the planner, like I write that out. I'm going to do that every day because it's one of my priorities. It's something that's important. So
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I agree about the alignment piece, that this is so much more like the weight. You're absolutely right. It's just the symptom of being out of alignment. And when you can get this area in alignment, this is like our motto in Fit Moms is when you can get this area of your life in alignment with his ways, you have so much more brain space to go do the things that he's calling you to do,
mhm.
like your devotional time or coaching or whatever it is. So yeah, you're definitely right. So to sum all this up, or last thing, what's next for you? What are you excited about now in your journey?
I don't know. I've got more weight to lose. I'm looking forward to that. And I guess for the first time ever, it's like, it's not really if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. And I'm excited to, feel like I look good and feel like I am confident, and um, just to continue. I mean, you're never 100%. So, continue working on me, continue working on my relationship with God, my relationship with my family, and continuing to work on bringing everything into alignment, so that I can, improve my relationships and continue to improve my health. I'm really looking forward to feeling feeling fit, and not like a vain way, but just feeling like my body's working like it's supposed to, and it's strong, and I can do the things I need to do, and I'm looking forward to maybe doing some things I wouldn't necessarily have tried. I still want to lose few pounds, but I really want to go zip lining, and I think my kids would love it. So I want to. I'm looking forward to doing that. And I think maybe this summer is not going to be it, but next summer maybe it will. So
2023, the summer of zip
yeah,
lining.
there you go.
Just name it. I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you guys should just be excited to see Melissa when she comes back on. We maybe the 100-pound mark, then we'll bring you back on and
There you go.
go over all your newfound progress and everything. So
It sounds awesome.
if you guys have questions, if you're watching live or replay, actually let us know too. If you're watching live, just do #live. And if you're watching on the replay, let us know and feel free to drop any questions. I'm sure, Melissa, maybe I'm speaking for you, but I'm sure you'd be happy to answer any questions just with the mindset shift and everything. But she's a great encouragement. So that's why I wanted to bring her on tonight. So you guys could just remember, I think the theme of this is that it's possible. And if you feel stuck, you don't have to. So, all right. Cool. Thanks so much, Melissa. I really appreciate you hopping on tonight.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was nice chatting with you. Thanks, Kelsey.
All right. Good night.
Good night.